The Denver Nuggets are in crossroads after a lackluster offseason they had. Losing KCP in their best move is getting Russell Westbrook and Dario Saric, and signing Jamal Murray to a massive deal is simply not good enough for them to continue to contend for titles. With Nikola Jokic getting up there with age, their contract situation regarding 4 of their starters on a max deal, and lack of moves in the offseason, the Denver Nuggets are going backwards as a team. From winning a championship last year to now a team that is continuously declining as of late. The Nuggets may find themselves at odds with Nikola Jokic in the future, such as him wanting to leave this team. In this video, I finna discuss the concerning dilemma with the Denver Nuggets. But first, A-Man, say man, this is the A-Man Show back at it again for more content. Make sure y'all subscribe. I post NBA content, turn on post notifications so that way you don't miss anything new from me. Anyways, stay tuned and enjoy the vid. I think we all agree that Nikola Jokic is without a doubt the best player in the NBA, best player in the world. This is the same man who won 3 MVPs in the last 4 years, which pushed him among a handful of players in NBA history who've done it. And like I said, won a ring while winning Finals MVP, along with putting up one of the greatest postseasons in NBA history. That being said, I feel like the Denver Nuggets as an organization is fucking over Nikola Jokic in a way because they let KCP walk in free agency to make room for Jamal Murray's contract, in which I'm not too concerned about that because first, Jamal Murray deserves it, but still, they haven't done anything to replace KCP, and instead what they did is signed Russell Westbrook on a 1-year deal. And y'all know my disdain with Russell Westbrook. He's not a guy that you can rely as far as helping you win another ring, especially with his advanced age. In his last postseason performance, in which he was arguably the worst player throughout that year's playoffs, it was simply a bad move from the front office, and not even that. Their best moves was signing Dario Saric, and that's about it. They've done nothing to bolster this bench, which is their biggest weakness. Last season, they have no depth on the bench, which led to the starters playing more minutes, which is a part of the reason why Jamal Murray got injured in the beginning of last season. And eventually their lack of depth will come to bite them on the ass going into the Timberwolves series. Now everyone knows about the series of how Rudy Gobert got exposed based on what everybody says. I'm not going to talk about this specific moment. I'm going to talk about the Nuggets team as a whole. One of the main reasons why the Nuggets lost this series is because not only the Timberwolves were better than them defensively, but they simply have more depth on the roster. The fact that the front office has seen the main weaknesses on this Nuggets roster, Kevin Booth has been very complacent in improving the weaknesses on this roster. Hell, even Mike Malone has shown to be very frustrated with how the front office is handling this team. Like I said, their best replacement for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is Russell Westbrook, who is about to turn 36 years old and can't shoot nor defend, and he needs the ball to be effective. And you're just not going to win with a guy like that in the roster, especially sharing the ball with guys like Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray. And now you move to Christian Brown to the starting lineup? Really? And then you gotta add this contract situation too. The Nuggets have the highest payrolls in the NBA. Jokic contract will end in 3 years. Murray's contract will start next year. Porter's won't end in the next 2 years. And he signed a $180 million deal, so that's a hefty amount of money. And Aaron Gordon is in contract year. And I don't even know how they're going to re-sign him with this limited cap space. And as y'all heard, the Nuggets don't have a whole lot of money to work with, but still, they did not put that much effort towards improving the bench. They could have done so many 1-year deals with bench players, but all of them have a role and contribute well with this team. They barely did that with Russell Westbrook. So the Denver Nuggets, you can make the claim that this team has gotten worse. And the worst thing about their situation is that the West has caught up to them. The Dallas Mavericks just added Klay Thompson and key role players like Quentin Grimes, Najee Marshall, and brought back Spencer Dinwiddie on a 1-year deal to replace Derrick Jones and Tim Hardaway Jr. And before all of this happened, the Dallas Mavericks made it to the finals last season. They still have Luka, Kyrie, Derek Lively, Daniel Gafford, and PJ Washington. All of these guys will have much better chemistry alongside one another and more added pieces on the roster. The Mavericks looked as the favorites to win it all next season. And then add OKC, who just got Alex Caruso and Isaiah Hartenstein. They still have their young core, and all of which are going to be much improved alongside chemistry. OKC is another legit finals contender. You also have the Minnesota Timberwolves, the same team that beat the Nuggets last season. They still have the same roster minus Kyle Anderson, but plus Rob Dillingham. You also have the Memphis Grizzlies with John Morant coming back. You also have Sacramento getting better. You also have the Pelicans getting better by adding DeJounte Murray on the roster. Hell, the Houston Rockets are making noise as well. And by the way, I will make a vid on the Houston Rockets next video. But going back to the Nuggets, because of their big weaknesses on the roster, I really don't think they have a shot towards making out the West, especially how much better the entire Western Conference got. Sure, the Nuggets may win 57 to 58 games in the regular season, all because of Jokic, but it's not going to be sustainable come playoff time with a lack of bench they have. They will have to resort mainly towards their starting lineup, such as Jokic, MPJ, Murray, and Gordon. And yes, it's still a top tier starting lineup, but your bench says otherwise. And with that, you're just not going to win in today's NBA with this roster. And last season proves it. So the Denver Nuggets, you can make the case that they're in no man's land, meaning they are too good to tank, but not good enough to compete. And with their contract situation, followed by their anus front office, you're only wasting Nikola Jokic's time with this organization. And if this situation doesn't get fixed, then it will be too late, because now Jokic will demand a trade. It kind of sucks when a guy like Jokic wins multiple MVPs and a championship, and for the rest of his career be filled with nothing but playoff exits. Don't get me wrong, he'll still win MVPs, but not championships, because his team is not good enough to compete. And yeah, Jokic's career is already among the best in NBA history, but I'm sure that he's not satisfied with what he's accomplished throughout his career. He's still trying to win more championships, and right now, this current state of the Denver Nuggets, they're not doing anything to further support him. And that's obviously a problem. In conclusion, the Denver Nuggets are at crossroads. They had a shitty offseason, and that led to them towards being worse. And with the conference getting better, I don't know how the Nuggets can make it out of the conference with this roster, and their championship window is getting smaller and smaller every step of the day. And it's only going to get worse from this time on if they don't fix it. So thank y'all for watching the video. What do y'all think? Are the Nuggets still finals contenders? Let me know, and be sure to smash the like button if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe for more NBA content. Turn on post notifications, and that is all. Stay litty. This is the A-Man Show. Sign out.